What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We do take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial. I forgot yesterday. We will be looking at that at the end of the video. Does seem like we're having a pre-market pump. Let's see what happens and see how that might affect Bitcoin. Definitely stick around. Don't forget we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out if you want a place to hang out and talk about crypto. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it. And remember, this is my opinion, not yours. All right, let's take a look at the news to get a feel for the sentiment. Obviously, it's all about the halving from yesterday. That was super hyped up. Get set for Bitcoin halving. Here's what it means. Bitcoin halving is upon us. Bitcoin halving is now when to buy Bitcoin. Satoshi Nakamoto, third Bitcoin halving in history executed. Bitcoin undergoes third halving. Bitcoin halves for the third time. Blah, blah, blah. Halving. You guys know I'm a firm believer in Bitcoin. I just think a lot of people really think a lot more people are in the space. Not that they're not going to come, but they think a lot more people are in the space than really are. So fear and greed index, we're at 39. We dropped 1 point from yesterday. Let's look at the monthly. So the monthly, we've been watching these two trend lines here. This one being at 85.50, this one being at 93.40. And again, guys, this is the monthly. We still got a lot of time left in the month, but a close above this 93.40 would be bullish in my opinion. A close in between neutral, and a close below on the monthly at 85.50 would be bullish or bearish. But the 55 EMA is down here right around the $5,100 range. I still believe there's a good possibility we come and test that. I'm not saying we have to. I'm just saying there's a good possibility. I also have some lower targets, but this is my wife's webpage. A great way to support the channel, guys. InkYourImage.com. Check it out. She's got a lot of cool stuff on here. You can put anything, any coin, any saying you want on any of this stuff, not just what's listed. Just hit her up in the contact if interested. All right, looking at the weekly. So we have a bullish and a bearish case scenario. We had this falling broadening wedge that we've been watching on this channel for quite some time. Volume is still declining here on the weekly, but let's take a look at the measured move. We did wick outside of this, but we do have a main trend line, this thicker trend line on top. That is the main trend line right now as of today. Yeah, as of this weekly candle, 10,500, which we've talked about plenty of times, is a confirmation bull market if we close a daily above this, in my opinion, but I don't necessarily think that's going to happen right now. Let's take a look at the measured move. If that was to break up out of this and break the 10.5, we're looking at about $16,000 level. I personally don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I could be wrong. I do also have these targets down here at the 45.70, this being the trend line right off of the bottom from 2017, 18, and then we did wick past it just a little bit here. I also have a lower target around 1,000. That would be in August if that was to happen, and that would be coming down to retest the bottom of this falling broadening wedge. Not saying it's going to happen, guys. I'm just saying it is a possibility. We also have this trend line all the way from back in 2016 at 28.45 area would be where I'd be looking at. Obviously, that's why I do daily updates, so we can keep track of it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Leave your comments down below. And I know a lot of people forget to hit that like button. And whenever I mention it, we get a lot more likes. So sorry if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but just hit that like button. Anyways, so that's what I'm looking at here. We do have the 200 EMA on the weekly right around the $5,500 range. And that 5,400 is what I have been watching for a long time on this channel. Let's look at, let's look at the RSI on the weekly. We've been talking about this, this falling channel here. We did pop out of it last week, but if you guys were watching, I'd said if we On the RSI can move up, but it follows the body. If the body comes back down below the trend line and closes, then obviously the RSI does. We are still stuck in this channel. Again, we could pop out of this, but the weekly close is when it matters. If we close outside of this on the weekly, that's bullish in my opinion. Let's see what happens. So looking at the daily. The daily, we have this rising broadening wedge, which is bearish, that we broke out of over here. Looks like we came back, retested it here. We are in a rising channel as of now. And if you guys been watching the channel, you know I think there's a good possibility we break out of the bottom of this. And reason being, if we look at Litecoin, it has already broken out of its channel. If we look at Ethereum, it has already broken out of its channel. And we'll look at those here in a minute. But as of right now, if we were to come down and break down through this, let's say today or tomorrow, the target would be around the 58.90 range. But my targets have not changed here, guys. These are the Fibonacci retracements from the swing low down here to the swing high, 86.25, which obviously there's been a lot of confluence right here. If that does not hold when we test it again, 77 is my next line of support. And that has been a support and resistance line pretty deep all the way across. That's the 0.382 Fibonacci. Then we have the 0.5 at 69.81 and the golden pocket zone at 62.27. This is one of the main area I'm watching between the 52 and 62. 62 being the 0.618. The 5400, I've been watching that for a long time. That is the 0.786 of this whole move over here. So that's why I'm still watching that. If we look at the RSI, we are still in this rising channel. We were in a falling broadening wedge here, popped out. We are in a rising broadening wedge as of right now. This is on the daily. It does look like, actually I need to move this. It does look like we're getting resistance trying to get back in the wedge. If we're not able to, obviously we're coming back down, which I do believe we're most likely coming back down to test this range on the daily. Now let's look at the price action a little bit closer on the, well, we'll go into the 4 hour. Let's get rid of the RSI for a minute. So on the 4 hour, we have been struggling on this bottom of what we had as a triangle. I still keep these trend lines here off of these wicks. I think they're very important. And as of right now, we are getting rejected on this. If we are able to break above the, we're able to break above the 13 EMA here, which is around the 88.30. The 21 EMA would be my next resistance at 89.30. And then the 55 EMA is at the 89.80 range. If we're able to break that, we could be heading up to test this 93.53. And the interesting thing about the 93.50 area is if we put a Fibonacci retracement on this swing high right here down to the swing low right here, that's in confluence with the golden pocket zone. The 0.618 is at 93.30 and the 0.65 is at 94. So that also matches up with this top trend line here. So it's a good possibility we come up to test that area, guys. Keep that in mind. But I still believe we have further down to go. We could get as high as 96.60, which would be the 0.786 retracement, which would line up here with the support and resistance. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the 4 hour RSI. Now, I talked about this yesterday. We have this rising wedge, it kind of narrows over here, but I put it off all the touches. We broke through down here. It does look like we could come back up and retest this. And like I said, that could get us up to that 93.30 area before coming down. I'm not to say it has to, but keep an eye on that. It could just drop from here. But I still believe we have further down to go. I'm still looking at these targets down here. Now, like I said, a break of this channel, obviously these are going to be support areas, but I'm expecting at least 6,200 if this happens and we do break out of the bottom of this channel. That would also be breaking the 200 EMA around 8,200. If that holds as support, I could be wrong. We could go up. Bull market could continue. We'll see what happens. So I get Litecoin. Like I said, it already fell through its... one more thing I wanted to point out is all the EMAs here have crossed bearish. On the 4 hour, we have the 21, the 8, the 13, and 21 are all below the 55. That's bearish. So unless we can break and close at least a 4 hour above 89.80, then yeah, I think we just continue down from here. This almost looks like a reversal diamond here. I don't necessarily believe it is, but it very well could be. As you can see, this candle just opened. We are still getting rejected at the 13, which is also lining up with this trend line. So did I look at EMAs here? Yeah, we are still dropping below the EMAs here on the daily. Same thing around the 88.80. If we can close the daily above that, our next resistance is 89.70. Those are going off my EMAs. If you're not familiar with that, I have some tutorials. Check in on my YouTube channel and you'll see some tutorial videos. I am going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top if you are interested in trading. It's a great exchange. You could trade Forex, commodities. I think there's like 40 some different things you could trade on there. So definitely check it out. You can use my Savvy50 promo code down below to give you a 50% deposit. So if you was to deposit a Bitcoin, they would put a half a Bitcoin on top of it. You can't withdraw it, but you can use it for your trading. Also, Savvy25 will get you 25% off all of your fees. Okay, let's go back to, excuse me, guys. Let's go back to Litecoin. Like I said, Litecoin has broken out of its rising channel here. The measured move off that is actually around the $31 range. We do have the 0.618 at 34. We did get a bounce directly off of this 0.236 Fibonacci retracement, which was from this swing low to this swing high. It came back and retested that, got a bounce. But what I'm looking at now, unless we can break back in that channel, we still have further down to go. And as of right now, you can see the trend line I have off these two wicks along with the rising channel. They meet up right at the 21 EMA, which is around a $43 range. We may see that 43 today. If we break it, we could be headed back up to this 44.83 level, which is the 0.236 and the 55 and the 200 EMA. But as you can see, the 200 EMA seems just about ready to be crossed, and this is in the 4 hour. The 55 EMA looks like it's ready to cross it. That should be pretty bearish, guys. So keep that in mind. And looking at this falling channel, looks like we had a rising channel here, broke out of it, retested it, came back down, tested the bottom of this channel. Does look like we're ready to come down for one more test of this, possibly. Ethereum, same thing, broke out of the channel. Looks like we're coming up to test it, and look at that. All the trend lines line up right at the 21 EMA, same way at around 193.50. If we're able to break that, the 55 EMA is 199. If we break that, then we may be coming up to test this top trend line, but I don't think so. I think we're coming down from here. As you can see, let me zoom in a little bit. The 13 has crossed the 200. Next, the 13 is going to, if we don't come up and retest this 193. But I'm looking for the 193, 194 possibly, if we continue up from here, as the EMAs are turning up, but that obviously could change just in one candle. But as of right now, I mean, the main target, guys, as long as we don't break back inside this channel and invalidate it, is this measured move. Let me get the RSI out of the way. Right here, measured move of the channel to the breakdown is actually right around 135. That may be coming to test this trend line right here, which was a falling channel for a long time. But yeah, that's my ETH target right now, my Ethereum target. 0.618 is at 142. I would expect to bounce there if it didn't bottom there. We have the 0.5 at 159. and the 0.382 at 174. 194 was the 0.236, which lines up with all these trend lines. I would see heavy resistance there if we do get up that far. But anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Pre-market. Dow is having a little pre-market pump. It's at up 106. S&P's up 1075, and NASDAQ 3750. Do we have a pump today? If we do, that could mean Bitcoin goes up higher. And then I believe after, even if it does, if the Dow pumps, Bitcoin will go with it a little bit. And then when the Dow closes, I believe we go down some more. Just my opinion. If we look at where we're at on the Dow on the daily, we are above the 55 EMA. We did get support off it yesterday. We could go up as high as to test this 200 EMA on the Dow this week, which is around 2570. But if we take a, let me go into the 4 hour. And if you guys are interested in my long term, I'm super bearish on the Dow, even though they're printing money and pumping the crap out of it. But if you look at this rising channel I have here, we have broken out of that. And if you look at the RSI, and again, this is a 4 hour, we had a falling broadening wedge that we broke out of, tested it for support twice. It does look like we may just ride this down. This would be the trend line to watch in the RSI as of right now. Break below this would be another test of this falling broadening wedge. And if we break below this top line here, extremely bullish, or bearish. And that would line up right here around 23.7. If we drop below the 23.7, I don't think it'll be too long before we see the 20.3 thousand point mark. But I do have lower targets. If you're interested, check them out below. Highest I see us going is this 25.2, which is 0.618. Fibonacci retracement of the swing high to the swing low. So that's where I'm at with that. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head if you want to be subscribed to the channel for daily updates. Give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will leave some more tutorials right up here. Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Have a great day.